Good evening, everyone, and welcome to All Things Blockchain's AMA for February 2025. We're honoured to be with Stellio Koutsis tonight, founder of BlockChat. He's also an awesome graphic designer, which we might hear a bit about tonight as we go through his journey. We're All Things Blockchain. We're a blockchain agnostic community meetup group based in Brisbane, Australia, but with Zoom and with our presence, with our founder traveling around the world, we tend to pop up anywhere, really. We've hosted events in Singapore and Hong Kong recently, just this week. We're thrilled to have a number of sponsors on our books. We always give thanks to our sponsors, of which BlockChat is one. Thank you very much, Stellio. And we are really thrilled to have around 12 or 13 sponsors this year. So you can see the range of them there on the screen. A wide cross-section of exchanges. There's a grant writing service there, Grant and Hashlock, very well known for blockchain security and cyber audits, and a raft of others. Labris, one of the biggest, if not the biggest Web3 development shop in Australia. So we're thrilled to have a number of our partners being Australian-based businesses. We also collaborate with Wave of Innovation off-chain coming out of West Coast of the US. Women in Digital Economy, we've got an event coming up, which I'll talk about in a minute, with Women in Digital Economy, and also Oz Crypto Convention. The guys there are good friends of ours as well. None of what we do at All Things Blockchain would come together without our team. So we have a number of people working behind the scenes that help to put our events together and stand them up. And we always give thanks to the hard work that goes on behind the scenes as well. We hold in-person events as well as online AMAs like this one tonight, which we're recording. Next in-person event will be next Tuesday night at the Precinct in Brisbane. We will be streaming that live on Zoom as well for those of you who are out of town. We're thrilled, as we do each year, we partner with Women in Digital Economy. And this year we're partnering with Women of DECA to put on an event celebrating women in tech. This year's IWD theme is Accelerate Action, and we're adopting that theme for, I guess, promoting and standing shoulder to shoulder with women in Web3. And we've got a number of speakers, as you can see on the screen there, from our sponsors, actually, who are going to be giving a little talk about their career and encouraging other women on their growth journeys in Web3. So that's next Tuesday, March the 4th at the Precinct. Keep an eye out. If you're subscribed, you can subscribe to us on paragraph.xyz. We have a monthly community hub that we put out. If you have your mobile phone, you could click on that QR code if you wanted to check out a bit more, but that goes out every month. And it's not just about us at all. It's about highlighting events from around the world and finding out, sort of showing what's going on in different places all around the world. Yes, the women's event next week will be online. If you sign up to the meetup, you get a copy of the URL for the Zoom call becomes exposed once you register as an online attendee for that one. Jumping around, just bringing the focus back to that screen. And really, that's all I wanted to say. I think we're going to hand over to Stel. I'll just stop sharing, and we're going to dive into a little bit about the life and times of Stellio Koutsis. Tell me, how did you end up building a Web3 community, Stel? Where did it all start? How did you fall into the scene?
Yeah, Matt, it's been quite a few years now. I think I can date back to 2017 when I first got into crypto. Didn't really know much about it back then, was kind of learning, understanding how it all worked. And then I guess I wanted to learn a bit more about how projects communicated to their community. So in order for me to do that, I had to join 4 or 5 different applications to understand what was happening. So I found it to be yeah, Discord, Telegram, WhatsApp, Reddit, everything that you can think of when projects communicate to their community. So it came around to 2019, and I was designing. I'm a graphic and web designer, and I loved to just help projects by designing some branding and their website designs, and in exchange for some tokens, right? So a bit of sweat equity to jump in and help the project out. And I stumbled across a project on an Australian Facebook page about crypto, and we actually started a project together called Ozcom Coin, and it was going to be a way for projects to actually tip content creators using a widget on YouTube or any streaming platform. So we did some funding, some investing, and we did a pre-sale, and we raised about 30,000 Australian dollars. And then the guy who I partnered with actually rugged the whole thing.
Oh,
Um,
I hadn't heard
and
this
I
story.
was, oh
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So this is how it all started for me. I was left to pick up the mess. The investors were all quite upset, and so was I, because they kind of dragged my name through the dirt and plastered my face all over Twitter,
Okay.
calling me a scammer and this and that. So I didn't want to leave on a bad note, so I set out to rebrand the whole project, which then became BlockChat, and I actually designed my own NFTs and launched those on Metis Andromeda. They were called the Metis Ninjas, and I raised enough money to actually build the MVP of BlockChat. So it's pretty much self-funded at that stage. And we had the MVP going. I've been working with my developer now for over a year in that stage. And then I thought I needed to kind of upgrade this and go bigger. And the whole business model changed, and it became a platform. What I originally thought of when I first joined crypto was to actually bring all those applications, all the features of those applications together into one. So the live chats, the sub channels, the AMAs from Twitter, token gating, all that kind of stuff that we know from all these different applications, but built natively into one application.
So it really
Um,
is, it's a one-stop shop. Well, that's the idea. Sort of
that's
one
right.
thing we talked about was it's perhaps a combination of Telegram and Discord, if you could think of it that
Yeah,
way.
that's
And
correct. Yeah.
but using Web3 under the hood. So it's community building and also the decentralized aspect as well, which we'll discover a bit more about as we go into the call. So yeah, you've talked a bit about how you found distributed ledger, kind of your reason for being, but why the community? Like, had you been building your network in the community already? That's what led to
Um,
this.
not necessarily. Well, yes, I am building the community, but also,
But I mean, at the
I
time when it came around, like,
yeah, well, the reason why I enjoy doing this type of like the path that I've taken for this project is because I used to work at the Coles supermarket for like 10 years, right? And I used to talk to everybody and build rapport with so many customers and just get to know them and find out what they're buying and how I can upsell them and make money off them as well. So I used to build community in my own little world at Coles, and I wanted to transfer that skill that I had into Web3 and just talk to everybody and get to know everybody and see how I can help them as well. And then that's when I started to join all these different applications. I thought this is like there's got to be another way, and no one has actually done that, where you can actually communicate in one platform, have everything in one area, and just communicate like correctly and cohesively with your whole project. That way, there's no miscommunication. No one's going to miss out if they didn't read the Telegram or read the Discord or whatever it is.
we'll dive into the product with a live demo soon. I've omitted to say, if anybody's got any questions, just raise your hand or just jump straight in as we go through. That's totally fine. That's what we're here for, is to help everybody sort of get an understanding of the product. And I must say, being a branding guy, the BlockChat brand is very strong to me. It's like it's a really, really well developed word mark. So it goes well on our sponsor deck.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, so I don't know if we want to dive into the technology a bit more. You mentioned in passing there you had started out on that Metis Andromeda,
Yes,
but I think you're moving away from that. Do you want to give a bit of a background as to
sure.
how you landed there and why you're moving away?
Yeah, sure. So the platform itself is actually not built on chain. It's actually hosted on AWS at the moment. The token that we had though was launched on Metis Andromeda. And the reason being was back when I was looking at Oscom Coin, I was looking into a layer two option to actually build the blockchain on. But Metis I don't know, they didn't have the right community and the right marketing skills to promote their token. At the time, through the last bull run, they actually did do quite well with their token, but now the token's down to about I think $20 maybe. I don't know. I haven't even looked, but the reason moving is because I've actually tried to get Metis to work with me and support me and say I want to build this on Metis, and they just kind of flicked me away and didn't want to help at all. So because our token was or still is on Metis, what we're doing now is actually having a relaunch of the token on Solana, and we're actually going to be having a pre-sale again and hopefully have a very successful relaunch on a chain that actually has really good volume. Whereas a chain that was doing like at the time when I launched the token, they were doing about 140,000 transactions a day, which is nothing compared to like say Base and Solana doing over 5 million a day. Like it's ridiculous. Um, which is why we want to go to a chain that actually has the volume and has the people there. And it's easier to buy. Like Metis is quite difficult if you don't understand how to swap between layers and use decentralized exchanges and all that. So I've kind of been doing that for a very long time now. So I know it like the back of my hand. But to get a new investor into buying something on Metis is quite challenging. And even though I have made quite a few videos and onboarding videos and swap videos and this and that, it's still not enough. It's still not an easy user experience. And that's something that I really believe in as a designer as well, that I need to make it as simple as possible and as easy as possible to use.
Yep.
So that's why we're
Even for a
shifting to
savvy
Solana.
Web3 user, by the sounds, yeah. And you mentioned, we might dive into the Bittensor story in a minute, but you'd mentioned that you're already working with some AI. Obviously, AI is topic du jour for everybody. I find that intersection between AI and Web3 really fascinating, because we spend so much time in Web3, of course. But do you want to talk quickly about what your plans are and what you're already doing with artificial intelligence for it?
Yeah, absolutely. So Bittensor is actually a decentralized marketplace. And what they do is they run subnets on their chain, and each subnet is owned independently by a company, and each one has their own different type of AI functionality. Now, we've actually plugged in the Bittensor subnets into BlockChat, and we're actually able to utilize the AI technology from any of those subnets into BlockChat. So what we've done so far is have text and image generation as the base model of our like AI tech, and it works successfully. So we're pretty excited about what else we can add in. And the next step for us will be adding in agents, because we know agents are like already taking over. They've been up for a couple of months now, and they're just growing so quickly. And what we're going to do is actually have an onboarding agent where a new project will sign up to BlockChat and enter their title and description of the project, and the agent will actually pick up these keywords and then suggest a theme to install on your BlockSpace. So I'll explain a BlockSpace again very soon. And what will happen is you can choose, say, for example, your project is a gaming community. It'll come up with a suggested theme that you click on, and it will install all the subchannels for you automatically based on your project's theme or your project's interests. So we're trying to make that onboarding process again as simple as possible, easy as possible, no friction. And then all you need to really do once you've created your block space is to just adjust the permissions and roles if you need to. Like there will be some pre-made roles and permissions already built in, but if you wanted to narrow down specifically to your project's roles and permissions and tags and all that kind of stuff, that's all going to be done separately. But yes, it will be possible to onboard and create subchannels automatically. Roles and permissions will be done. We want to eventually bring in like a Git book style documentation that's already done onto the platform. So kind of take everything from everywhere and bring it into one and make it one just all in one for everything, every crypto project that you can learn about in one go. And
You
kind of one
mentioned, sorry,
advantage.
go on.
Sorry, just one more thing, Matt. One advantage with BlockChat is, like for example, if you go to Discord, you can't actually browse Discord servers um, to to find another project, right? Um, on BlockChat, you can browse all the different block spaces to find the project you're interested in. So that's another really cool feature that we have.
No, very good. I was going to just hone in quickly on the fact that Bittensor is EVM compatible as well, which is great. And the token you mentioned is called TAO, T-A-O.
Yes, yep. So we because BlockChat at the moment is EVM compatible, because we wanted to go down that Metis route, layer two. Um, we are going to be opening it up to a broader wallet connection, because that's how you actually sign into BlockChat with a wallet. Make it super simple. The onboarding process is 2 clicks and you're in. There's no profile creation. It's just connect your wallet, sign it, and you're in. But we will be expanding. Obviously, when we go to Solana, we'll be integrating like the Phantoms and Soulflare wallets and all that kind of stuff. But then we'll touch on the next part, which is when we integrate Quilibrium, which is where the host will be.
Yeah, Ep asks, is it an alternative to Discord? I think, yes, you'll find that it is. It has inbuilt chat and various other things. And we'll have a very quick, I'm sure everyone's itching as I am to dive in and have a look. Couple more questions before we get there. Just on that decentralization versus centralization, I find it fascinating. You've gone with, as you said at the outset, AWS, but you are moving to Quilibrium, which is basically an AWS for Web3.
That's right. So Quilibrium is a platform. It's not a blockchain. And it's actually a peer-to-peer MPC, um, end-to-end encryption, every acronym you can think of. But it's basically in its form an alternative to AWS, a decentralized alternative to AWS. So I
Mhm.
can actually take my entire front end and back end and actually host it directly on Quilibrium. And Quilibrium is run off nodes. So same as Bitcoin, like you need to actually have these nodes running in order to actually make the network run. So at the moment, I think there's already over 3,000 or maybe 2,000 nodes running for Quilibrium. And the full mainnet launch hasn't even happened yet. So version 2.1 will allow us to deploy on to Quilibrium, where we can host and become completely decentralized and permissionless.
Got a couple of business minds on the call as well who'll be interested maybe in the business model behind what the product. It's going to be subscription based, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So BlockChat will work as a subscription. So there'll be 3 different tiers. There'll be a free model with very limited functionality and features, and then an essentials plan, which is about $19 a month. And that will have basically everything, but not completely everything. And then we have our premium plan, which is $39 a month, and that will be basically every feature that we have, and every new feature that we'll implement will be directly added straight to the premium plan straight away, and then we'll decide which ones roll out into the essentials plan as we grow. So yeah, and then the way that we're thinking of running the subscription payments is not just with our main token, but we're going to have a platform specific token as well. So basically, there'll be a platform only governance token that you can actually stake your tokens to pay for your subscription as well, which can unlock all the features as well. Kind of just keeping and helping with the price to remain the same throughout the whole
And
process.
probably helping the network a little bit as well.
That's right. Yeah.
Ep asks who your target market actually is. I mean, we've got a range of people on the call tonight.
Yeah. So target market, it's mainly founders at the moment, but also community leaders. It can be like, honestly, the way it's set up is we could actually bring in any Web2 business into BlockChat, because once you've created a BlockSpace, you can start building out a place for your project like on chain straight away. So once that happens, yeah, it's kind of open to everybody. But for the start, we're definitely targeting founders, um, probably like projects that are running with about 10,000 plus communities, because there will be a feature where you can actually import your Discord servers directly into BlockChat. And that's kind of the beauty around having BlockChat not built directly on chain. I can have a few additional features and functionality that you normally would get on a Web2 platform that we can actually bring into Web3 and actually utilize those features, like
Yep.
importing a Discord server.
That's a crossover that's interesting as well. And assumedly to pull in those Discord histories, Discord, is that leveraging an API of some sort to do that, or?
Yeah, it would definitely be a part of a Discord API.
Mm,
Um, but it would just be like to set up the sub channels
yes,
and the roles and permissions. It wouldn't be
yes,
importing users or anything like that, or
yeah,
any history of chat, but it will definitely be bringing in
the
yeah, like
structure.
the structure of the
Yes, yeah.
entire project.
Speaking
Yeah,
of that, why don't we dive in and have a bit of a look? Because I think
sure.
this will make a lot more, be a lot more meaningful when people actually see it.
Absolutely.
And keep those questions coming, friends.
Yeah. Okay, so this is I'll just sign out just so you can see. This is the main homepage of the BlockChat beta version at the moment. So there are a few little things here and there that aren't working properly, but it's getting there. So when you first land on the page, you can browse the platform, but you can't interact. So by that I mean you cannot upvote or downvote until you've signed into the platform. So you can view profiles and you can actually change the color mode. We've got light and dark mode because not everybody loves dark mode. But I love dark mode, so I'm going back to that. And I'll show you how easy it is to connect to the platform. So you just have to click on Connect Wallet. So most of these wallets, like I really prefer Rabi Wallet now over MetaMask. Rabi Wallet's way better, but just for this one, I'll just use MetaMask. And all you do is click Connect, and then all we're doing is just reading the wallet. We're not actually accessing it. We're just giving permission to read the wallet so that we can see, one, how many tokens you have if you do have tokens for when we do token gating, and two, just to verify that you're an actual user. And that's pretty much the two things. And once you've signed into the platform, you're in. You get now quite a few more options on the navigation here, and you can see your profile. So I've created my profile, but when you first log in, you just literally sign in as your wallet ID, and nobody really knows who you are until you create an account. And you don't have to create an account. You can remain anonymous if you want to. So if I go to profile, you can see here, you can set your cover image, your profile picture, your bio, all the standard stuff that you would get on a social platform. And you can see the post that I've done, the replies, which is coming, the media that I've uploaded to the platform, and then the block spaces that I follow. And then you can kind of follow a profile and see who they follow to kind of get an idea about, up and coming projects, for example.
So this is your profile. This is distinct from a block space, which could be, say, there could be an ATB block space.
Absolutely. So this is just like my own profile for my wallet, and people can follow users on the platform as well. So we will actually be having another button here, which will be a BlockChat ticket, and users can actually purchase the ticket. And what happens is it'll be set to a bonding curve. So what that means is every time somebody buys the ticket, it'll actually increase in price, and then your share that you bought originally from down here actually goes up in price as well the more that people buy it. Now, why would they buy it? Because this person may be creating really awesome content and you want to support them. And then you buy their ticket, and then you also are both generating revenue from that platform. Now, if I want to go to BlockSpaces, this is basically all the block spaces that are kind of in test mode at the moment. But this is kind of one feature that Discord doesn't have, where you can't browse Discord to find servers because you need to be invited to find them. Now, you can have an invite-only feature on a block space, but in order to do that, you need to create a paywall behind it. So you can actually monetize your own block space, and you can actually set token gating and NFT gating from your own project directly on the platform as well, which is a simple setting through the subchannels. So I can show you how to do that too. So if I just go to the BlockChat block space, this now becomes the home of BlockChat, the project. So this is now where I would communicate to everybody about BlockChat. As you can see, I've got all the different subchannels. I can hide them if I want to, just so that I can navigate easily. But there's two different types of subchannels on BlockChat. You have a post-only subchannel, which is basically like a text format only, where you can't reply live, but you can reply by tapping here and replying as a thread, similar to how it is on Twitter. You can upvote and downvote a post-only thread, and you can share it and you can bookmark it for later. And the second type of a post is like live chat. So we have live chat, which will replace like your Discords and Telegram. And you can see here it works very well. But this is not the end of this version of BlockChat. So with Quilibrium, they've just launched their own Discord alternative, actually, called Quorum Messenger. And it's an open source platform. And we're actually working with the founder of Quilibrium to actually get that built directly into BlockChat, which is actually the same as this right now, but it's completely decentralized, and you log in through a passkey. Now we'll be able to have the passkeys directly plugged into BlockChat as well. So you don't have to go create two accounts. You can sign into the same account on Quorum, and it's the same as BlockChat. So you can use it anywhere. And it has live chat and post-only functions as well, and upvoting down, or not upvoting, but you can react to posts, you can share them, you can pin posts, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and then when you go to and if I wanted a specific group of people or permissions or roles to access a certain area of this specific subchannel, I can actually set roles based on that permission. So no one's allowed to access this subchannel unless you're part of a certain role, for example. So if you're part of the gold member role, you can actually access that subchannel. It's just providing a layer of security as well. Especially if you want to create like payment, like for example, an alpha channel you want to join, maybe they require you to own a certain amount of tokens to access that subchannel. You can do that as well. So yeah, that's how that works. Now, in terms of posting with Bittensor and creating like the AI, it's very simple. So when you click on Start a BlockChat, a new modal will pop up. Depending on which channel you're in, it will post into. So if I wanted to post into the introductions channel, if you click on Start a BlockChat, you can see it will automatically select those strings, and you can see where it's going to post into. So if I wanted to create a title here, I can actually change the tone of that as well. And I can set the different use case, and I can get ideas on changing the description title as well. And you can see it spits out something funny there, and I can click that and it will just replace it. The description AI text will be coming as well. We haven't done that just yet, but basically you can just put in a few words and it will generate the description for you. And you can also generate some images based off a prompt as well directly from this modal. So if you do get stuck creating content and you need to add an image that's just generated from AI, like you can just do that right here.
Are you pulling in from Dali or something? Or
No, so this one actually comes from a AI model called Cort, Cortel, I think, or Cortez,
okay.
part of the Bittensor network. But yeah, you can see it's created the image pretty quickly. Soon there'll be an option as well to change to landscape if you wish. And then if you just click post, hopefully it works. It'll post the post directly into that introductions channel. There we go. So it works straight away. And yeah, that's pretty much how that works. We got notifications. So that's same as every other platform. You can click on the notification, take you straight to the message. We've got direct messages, which is also live chat. So all of these chats are actually live. Same structure to how the other ones are set up with the live chat on the BlockSpace subchannels. You can communicate quite quickly here. You can send voice messages. You can actually create a group DM directly from here. And you can actually share the invite link to the group as well. So you can have block spaces, and you can also have like group DMs as well if you really wanted to. So that's that. And yeah, anyone can actually jump on right now to create a block space for free because we're currently in a beta version of the app. And if you do want to participate in our Zealy competition right now, we're giving away some BCD tokens to provide us some awesome feedback on the application. Because all the feedback we get from the community kind of helps us make it even better. And we're at a stage right now where the app is about 90% complete. We're still kind of trying to chase some investors at the moment to help us finish. But we're going to hopefully raise a bit of money from the pre-sale we have again coming up on Solana. So that'll be quite exciting as well. So that's pretty much how the platform works.
Yeah, so those posts, that's it, that is being written back to reside on chain when you post something like that.
Yeah, so at the moment, the way it is, it's still on AWS, right?
Right, okay.
But when we are on Quilibrium and we're using Quorum
Will be fully, yep.
plugin, it'll be, yeah. So whoever owns the passkey and creates that content, they own that bit of data. So I can't actually access the data anywhere without that passkey, and because that passkey belongs to that user, yeah, good luck to anyone trying to get that data. So
Yeah.
it's impossible.
I'm just thinking in comparison to, I don't know, Blue Sky is the right example, but some of these other decentralized, Web3 style Twitters that we've seen over the last several years, not just this year, but is this like is there a way to publicly try and monetize or attach a value to my posts and my content, or is it more that it's about being, for want of a better word, a gated, more closed experience, but that's its selling point on its own, or is it a bit of both?
It's a bit of both, Matt, actually. You can gate the whole block space if you want to.
Mm.
But then you can have it open and as public as you want. Like if all they have to do is actually just join join a BlockSpace, and they can start seeing what's inside of that group. So if you just click here and you follow that page, if I unfollow it, oh no, I'm an admin of this one. I can't show it that one. If I go to another one, this one, for example, these guys were actually part of the they still are part of Andromeda, and they're a big meme coin on there, and they've been around for a couple of years, and they've been really cool. So basically, yeah, I don't know why I can't unfollow it, but anyway, if you don't join a BlockSpace, you can't see their sub channels except for their main general chat. And you can see that people are communicating, but to get any more information about that project, you'll have to join. Some can remove that functionality and you can just browse it straight away without having to join it. So there's many different ways to join a BlockSpace.
Any questions from the crowd? Anyone got any? I'm sure there are some technical minds among us who might have some technical questions about how this is all working under the hood. Because I think still, how long have you been working on this? Is it 3 years?
Yeah, it's been about 3 years. The MVP kind of helped me get some funding. So we at the February last year, we raised quite a bit of money, quarter of a million US, to build this whole application and like marketing and heading off to CryptoCon and having a booth there and meeting a million people. And it's been a really awesome journey the whole past year. And because of the whole token issue and Metis and all that, we've had to redo some things, and we had to pay to get the tokenomics redone and get a few things changed. And now we're like at a point where like to keep going, we just need that little bit of extra money to keep going. And that's why I really want to get this relaunch done properly and really, yeah, take it to the next level.
I think in terms of incentivization, we'll put up some links for people to join at the end, but there was some incentivization about a possible airdrop, I think you were mentioning.
Oh yeah, so the airdrop's part of our Zealy beta campaign. So Zealy is just a task driven platform where you complete a task and you earn some experience points, and then whoever provides the best feedback of the application will be airdropped some BCD tokens as well. So we do have like a first, second, third, and a couple of runner-ups. And the top prize is I think $100 worth of BlockChat. And they'll be receiving that in the new token as well. So yeah.
Other things, the size of the team, you mentioned that you've got a lead dev. I think you've got a community head as well, and some other offshore developers.
Yep. So my development team are from Pakistan, and they're a professional Web3 development team. They're called metadots.io, and they're incredible. I've been working with them for over 3.5 years, and they've just never skipped a beat. They're really like their attention to detail is fantastic. So yeah, we're going to be continuing to use them when we raise a bit of money. I've also got Ivan. I don't know if he's even on the chat, but Ivan is part of the team. He's been there. He helped me raise the initial funds. He helped me put together my marketing strategy and plan, and also helped me with the pitch deck to raise that first initial funding that we got. And we're just continuing to attend events and try our best to kind of be out there and be known and know that we're here to actually help the communities and bring projects together and, you know, work together. So
that's Ivan Vantagiato from South Australia. Yep.
Yeah, Ivan Vantagiato.
That's right.
Yeah, he's a racer. He's a race car driver, and he's actually racing this weekend in South
there's some
Australia.
sort of tourers or something, aren't they? They're like I don't know what there's some sort of touring cars.
Yeah, it's
what the category
it's
is.
called a hyper racer.
Hyper racer.
Yeah, it's a new car that he's racing. He normally races in the RX-8 division, but yeah, this weekend he's racing a new car, and it's going to be good. We've got the BlockChat logo all over it as well.
Yes,
so that'll be good.
Different from because I know Jeff Yu from Monochrome is heavily into the motorsports as well. Is that a different class again?
Absolutely, yeah. Jeff's like up here and Ivan's like down here.
But he's winning it, and yeah, again, the support from the sponsors is very strong. So,
Yeah,
hey, one
yeah,
other thing we didn't talk about, I noticed early doors your email was blockchatdao.com, but
yeah.
the DAO aspect is there, but not like at the center. Just can we talk about how this facilitates creation and management of DAOs?
Yeah, sure. So we do want to integrate DAO functionality into BlockChat where giving the users of your project, you know, a way to vote on your project's decisions, where we will have a bit of functionality of that into BlockChat. It's not the main functionality of BlockChat. At the time, I couldn't find a good domain when I was creating BlockChat, and that one kind of came up,
It's
and
stuck.
I was going to use it, and it's kind of not really the purpose of BlockChat at the moment. Because I always wanted to, like, eventually I want to make BlockChat like fully open source, and give the ability to have a marketplace on BlockChat where projects can actually create their own plugins for BlockChat as well. So that's like down the road,
On the roadmap. Yeah,
down
down
the
the road.
roadmap. But yeah, like yeah, it's not really a major function of BlockChat right now, but there will be a way for people to do voting on their project if they wish with their token. Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions from the audience? I'll put up that link. I have got a slide with the links on as well. Sorry, I was just trying to cut and paste something there. Any questions at all from the business minded or the technically minded who are with us? This is the Zealy sign up, correct,
Yeah, that's the one.
Stellio?
So you can
Um,
either sign up with your wallet or with your Discord or I think maybe Telegram. Um, and you just have to complete a few tasks and you can go into the running to win some BCD tokens.
is
But
it
if you don't,
worth? Sorry, go on.
no, I was going to say if you don't want to participate, like I can still share the link, which you can probably see it in the navigation anyway. But
Yes.
it's just here, and you can jump on, connect your wallet, have a play around. You can create a block space for free. You can post anywhere. You can join block spaces. You can DM people. You can. It's yeah. It's pretty much ready to go. Like there will be like the AMA functionality. You'll be able to do video streaming, voice chats, and all that kind of stuff. It's all coming. But
Yeah. So
yeah,
what powers that? What's because video isn't cheap to stream, I wouldn't have thought,
yeah.
based on my
So
Web2 experience.
this will actually be running all through that Quilibrium
Yeah.
network.
Hmm.
But because we're quite connected with the founder, she is looking after us. Because we're actually the first project on Quilibrium that will be running, apart from like her main one, which is a Quorum Messenger. We will be one of the first dApps directly onto Quilibrium. So she's going to help us as much as she can
With the
to get
bandwidth,
us,
etc.
yeah,
Yeah.
with hosting, with everything. Yeah. So
Is it worth in any way spending the last 5 or 10 minutes actually stepping through that sign up process or one of the sign up processes, or is there no interest from people? Or I just thought seeing it from scratch, like the actual onboarding process might be one thing we could
oh
spend the
yeah,
time doing, but otherwise open to questions. And I'm ready to put up that slide as well. While you're doing that, I might just bring up these links and paste them in the chat as well.
yeah. So when you first create a block space for your project, you can enter the name and description here. There will be like a floating AI agent on this page as well, where it will interact with you when you're creating your project. So if I was to type in here, um, description, you can always do that later. Basically, it connects to your wallet now, and you're the admin of this block space, and you're actually the one that controls creating the block spaces, the allowing users into the platform, all that kind of stuff.
I had one ending quest board. Is that the right link? The Zealy. There's a
Which one?
BlockChat DAO one. Oh yeah, I see. It'll take you there. Look, I'll paste this one as well. Yeah, sorry, keep going.
Oh, yeah. And then from here, you can set your logo and cover image. I think I can skip that. Yep. You can actually select which chain your project is on. There will be
That's pretty
more.
cool.
This is actually just a demo at the moment, but you'll be able to click here to add more or search for your chain if you need to. This is where you can put your contract address of your token. You can always update this later as well. You can add some descriptions about your project to help people that are searching, which is part of our global search function here, where you can type in anything and it will find every post except for the live chat. All the block spaces the users and posts on the platform, and also the keywords that people use to describe their project. So we can do meetup, for example. A few links that are quite specific to Web3 projects. So websites, your docs or your white paper, your Discord, Twitter, and Telegram. Even though I don't want to provide those, but they're there. They're there just in case. Mediums, Reddit, GitHub, and your CoinGeckos and all your deck screeners and stuff will be here as well. So you can do that. Now, after that page, basically, it'll be the payment screen where you choose which tier you want to be part of. And then you'll pay through either the BCD token or through credit card payment, like MoonPay, for example. And of course, we'll have the option to stake your BCG tokens, we call them, so BlockChat governance token. And you can actually stake to if you have enough of them, you can stake them as your payment to the platform as well. So once you hit create BlockSpace, basically that will create your project, which the onboarding process now should be, when you click create, it should take you straight to your block space. So that is coming as well. So when you go to your block space, you can see now it's been created. We can
Yay.
update the project. I can add you as an admin as well, Matt, so you can play around in here later.
Mm.
You can actually click here to add a topic. So we can say here sponsors, and we can create that. And inside here, we can put BlockChat, and then maybe people can learn about BlockChat through this one as well. We'll learn about how we sponsor ATB.
Mm.
They can pick an emoji. There we go. And I can actually change that. So that's a post only now, where I can post directly from here. But I can also change that to be live chat. As long as nothing's been posted into that first, then I can change it to a live chat. So from here now, I can click on BlockChat, and you can see now it's changed to a live chat function. So I can communicate directly to people without it being like a post only format. On this side here is where it'll have like your AMAs and your voice chats and your live and video streaming,
Mm.
just
Yep.
like, and also the member count and who members are, what their role is, all that kind of stuff will be here as well. And in here you can see like the subscription plan that you've picked. This is obviously not right, it's just an example. You'll be able to choose the token of how you pay every month. If you want to change that, you can. You can set the notifications. You can set roles here. So this is the default role that we have for anyone that joins this group right now. But you can actually create your own default member role and change it around if you want to. But basically, I can make sure that if you are a member, you can join the block space, but you can't actually see any subchannels. I don't know why you do that, but it's there to be there, just in case. You can create invites, kick members. These are all features that we know that people use on Telegram and Discord and all those applications. But you can come here to create a role. I can click on admin. I can set a default color, which isn't working just yet, but it will be working. And I can click on permissions and go through here and adjust all the permissions based on that role that I want. Once I've set those permissions, it creates the new role from here, and I can actually add users directly from here as well. So once people start joining the platform, joining this block space, that's when you can assign them as like admins, or they'll automatically be added to the member role, but you can assign them to like admin role, for example. And then if I wanted to change BlockChat to have BlockChat only people, I could create a like a BlockChat role, and then I can go here and I can click on private and add members that have a BlockChat role, and only BlockChat people that have joined can actually join that sub channel, for example. So
Yep.
you can narrow it down quite a bit
There's
about
heaps of
what you
there's
want to
quite a lot
do.
of functionality in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, when you start to go through each functionality and feature, there is quite a bit. And then of course, if you want to edit your profile, like the cover photo, your profile image, the bio and all that, all your links will be here again. So you can just keep adding to it as you go. Once you add some links, you should also, it'll come up here as an icon as well. Hopefully.
Like a live demo. Need to refresh the page, maybe.
Yeah, I did, but it didn't work. So
We can imagine. We can imagine. Yeah.
it will have icons along the bottom here of all those website and Twitter and Reddit, all that kind of stuff. So they'll be there as well. You can change the color here as well if you want. Eventually, we'll have like really narrowed down customization of the block space itself, where you can actually change the accent color to suit your branding. So if your branding is orange, like there'll be a way to pick orange as your main theme color for the entire block space, and you'll be able to do that like to your own personal profile as well. So there is quite a bit coming that we want to add on, but yeah, everything takes time and money, so we're getting there.
Yeah, no, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Should we open it up to any questions? Any last questions, ideas, comments? What's people's initial thoughts or feedback on what you've seen? Be very keen to hear. I'm sure Stellio would as well. Just let us know. I can go to that last slide, perhaps Stellio, which is just the slide with the sign up URLs. Oh, before I do that, or as I do that, the mastermind. We haven't talked about the mastermind.
Yeah, so the mastermind is just a group of like-minded people, CEOs, developers, community leaders, marketing people, everyone that has brought some value to the project, where we can kind of work with each other to grow as a community. We all have a certain skill set that we can bring to the table, and it's just a place where we can network and help each other. Really, that's basically what the mastermind's about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I've got that PowerPoint, that slide coming up.
Yeah.
I think it's there now. Yeah, for what it's worth. That's those are all those links that I posted in there. It might be useful for the recording's sake for those QR codes, which should be scannable if you're watching this back on YouTube. And yeah, any final comments or thoughts, Stellio? I think it's an exciting product. I love the Web3 aspects. If we think of, I know we can do chunks of that with Discords. Discords have historically, had some moments over the years with, everything, seems to have cybersecurity issues from time to time. But I think I would have thought the Web3 aspects of yours would really appeal to those of us who really like the decentralization theme.
Yeah, there's one benefit, I guess, to using BlockChat is we have all those features built in natively already without having to pay for a developer to create a bot or a plugin for Discord, or a price bot for Telegram, for example. Like all this kind of stuff is built into that monthly price as well, which maintains everything, like maintains how the platform runs, how quickly we can get things developed. So yeah, that's kind of an advantage for us. And in terms of like a competitor as well, like when you look at someone like Farcaster, for example, Farcaster is like obviously massive and part of the whole base network, but it's full of Ethereum maxis. It's basically a developer portal, and it's all developer associated jokes and all smart people. It's an awesome place, and I like how they've done everything there. But when you're building a community, it's for one profile, and when you're building a channel, it's still just one channel. You can't actually expand on that. Whereas with BlockChat, you have multiple sub channels and many ways to communicate and update your project and your community. So kind of that's where the advantage is.
That's good. I've loved it. I hope others have as well. There being no questions from the floor, I think we might take this opportunity to wrap up. But any last thoughts, questions? David, from a business point of view, I know David's got an entrepreneurial mind. Tam says she loves it. And I know Tam had joined early, so she was very keen, he or she, I think it's a she.
I met Tam at CryptoCon in Sydney.
Ah, excellent. Oh, that's
Yeah,
great. Well, we've had a really detailed walkthrough tonight, and we've given you those links to that you might hopefully go off and experiment with that. But there being no other questions, this has been ATB with BlockChat for February 24, 2025. Good night.
thank you.